The book is called You to the Power of Two, Redefining Human Potential in the Age of Agentic AI. And here's the idea, that AI has gone through a number of changes over the past year. First, of course, we had generative AI, where AI could generate content. Initially text, but now any kind of content. Creative, rock star, singing a song, and Showroom on video, and post it on different platforms. Then we had the rise of Agentic AI, your topic today, where agents could take action without prompting. There are lots of agents in call centers, supply chains, manufacturing floors, financial systems. My view is that the most important agents, and the ones that are not understood, are the personal agents, the digital version of you. And the digital you, and all of the main hyperscalers are working on this, and they're all coming out with platforms to do this. The digital you is your consigliere for life. It's your doctor, spend every medical school in the world and read every paper and research project. It's your infinite number of vice presidents. It's your life negotiator and manager, your real estate transactor, your lawyer, your advisor, your counselor, your shopper. It's your tutor who's literally a freaking know-it-all. And these agents in the lifetimes of virtually all of you at this conference will have an IQ of 1,000. So you're all getting a superpower. That's what's important about Agentic AI, is this subset of personal agents. Why do we call it Agentic AI? Well, think about digital identity. That's gone through a number of big changes over the last period. Originally, we think about digital identity as being data that provides credentials for you to do certain things, you to pay your taxes, you to purchase something, to buy something online, to access a certain site. But over the last decade, that's evolved quite a bit. And your identity is much more. Your identity includes all kinds of data, not just identification or credential data. And each of you leaves a trail of digital crumbs as you go throughout life. And this virtual you representation of human data may know more about you than you do in certain areas, because you can't remember what you did a year ago, your exact location, what transaction you had, what medication you had, what diagnosis you had. Dozens of classes of data. And this data is all created by each of us, but it gets expropriated by a new species of business. We call them digital conglomerates. We've never seen anything like this. And the largest of them, the top 7, the Magnificent 7 as they're called, have a market value greater than Europe. And this is a form of what I've called digital feudalism. Under the feudal system, you weren't paid a wage, you were tied to the land, you did certain things, grew some produce, some chickens, or whatever. The landlord took most of it, and you were left with a bit. Well, today you create the asset class of the digital age, data, and it gets expropriated from you, and you're left with a few digital cabbages, so to speak. And that's a big problem, because it means that you can't use this data to plan your life, you can't monetize it, you can't make choices about it. Maybe you want to anonymize your healthcare data, give it to science or something. And it means that your privacy is being undermined. And people say to me, Don, privacy's dead, get over it. My view is that that's foolishness. Privacy is the foundation of freedom. And we need to get this data back, because it's the stuff of our identity, and manage it responsibly for ourselves. That was the identity as data. Now with Agentic AI, that identity is getting an IQ, and it's becoming an intelligent companion. So So this will change many, many things. There's no word for this, which is why in the book we call it Agentic AI. I'll put something backwards on the screen. So I've coined a number of terms over the years. Some of them stuck, some of them didn't. I'm hoping this will stick, and I hope we start using each other at the conference and going forward. Now, why should everyone care? Well, in the book we tackle how this affects a whole number of things. The enterprise, healthcare, learning, entertainment, how it affects personal life. And we also talk about the dark side. Let's just look at one of those, the enterprise and business. What does it mean to have an employee who has an infinite number of vice presidents? How do you hire somebody? Do you look at their resume or do you look at their agent? Because an inexperienced person can have much greater capability than a seasoned professional or executive in the workforce. What happens when they leave a company? What goes with them and what stays behind? There are 100 issues like this that are super complicated that we need to come to grips with. I think that this new age of Agentic AI will change the deep structure, architecture of the corporation. I've written about this over the years. The reason that we have firms, according to Nobel Prize-winning economist Ronald Coase, is the cost of transactions in an open market are greater than the cost of doing things inside the firm. So search, coordination, contracting, establishing trust. If you're trying to build a widget, imagine trying to find all the people to do that, getting them all coordinated, building contracts for every little activity. Be prohibitive. So we bring those inside the boundaries of the firm. Well, the internet and previous technologies began to drop those external transaction costs, and the boundaries of the firm became more porous. It led to outsourcing, network business models, and so on. Agentic AI is going to demolish these transaction costs. So you all know about DAOs. Well, DAOs and smart contracts were waiting for the smart part, intelligence. And now we're going to see profound changes to the architecture of the corporation. Peter Drucker referred to middle management as the boosters of the faint signals that pass for communication in the pre-information organization. Those boosters are now going to be eliminated by technology. It's a very famous book called Execution by Ram Charan and Larry Bosman. One of the best-selling books of all times. They said strategy doesn't matter. It's all about execution. And now identic agents will do the execution. So strategy will come to the fore. Examples of many of the changes. Healthcare. You know, the big problem we have with healthcare is an infinite demand and a limited supply. What if the supply were unlimited? Learning. What does it mean to have a tutor for kids or for us, for lifelong learning, that knows literally everything, all recorded knowledge? Back in the internet day, we outsourced something like memory.